I'm going to explain question set 45. This is a continuation of the previous question set. So the first question is, all the teachers in the school teach one subject or several subjects. Create a table called teacher has subject to store information on all the subjects that the teacher teach. In the initial stage of this software, the principal decided to store the details of the teacher who teach only the main subject of grade 9. Follow the instructions below to create this table. Use DDL Query to create the table. So in here I'm going to write again use random school DB and it will change the database. Then the table name is create table if not exist teacher has subject. First column is subject ID int not null. The second column is teacher ID int not null. And then they have said these two column names are these two column names are foreign keys. So to add foreign key to a table, we can write foreign key and give the column name subject ID, then references we have to reference the subject table. So inside this subject table, reference the subject ID. So assign this subject ID. This subject ID is as the foreign key and reference the subject table subject ID. And then the next one is teacher ID. So foreign key teacher ID references teacher table teacher ID. So the database is table is created. Teacher has subject table is created. The next question is, it is necessary to add column named IT to the column name ID to the table name teacher has subject, which is created to store all the subjects taught by teachers. The column you add is with the primary key and your team leader has said that auto increment key is mandatory. Name the DDL query required for that. Use that query to add that column to the teacher has subject. So to do this, we have to write a alter DDL query. So alter, again use Ranabima Soul DB, alter table teacher has subject, and then we have to give the add keyword. We have to give reason I'm giving net because we have to add a column name ID. So add ID and they say this ID column, this column you add with, it has to be a primary key and the leader said it has to be auto increment. So auto increment means this has to be int and primary key cannot be null, so not null, and the primary key, and at the end auto increment. So this DDL query is successful. The next question is the third one. It is compulsory for all students in grade in grade 9 of school to learn all the major subjects. Create table name student has subject to store information. To do so, follow the instructions below. Use DDL query to create this table. So again, use Ranabima Soul DB, create table if not exist, open brackets, subject ID int not null, then student ID. int not null. And these two columns we have to make these two columns foreign key. So these are foreign keys. So foreign key subject id reference this student subject table. So inside this subject table we have the subject id. So foreign key is the subject id and reference the subject table subject id. Second one is foreign key student id references student id. So the table is created. Student has subject table is created. Then student needs to add column name id in the table name student has subject, which is created to store all the subjects that are learning. Your team leader says that the column id you must add be a primary key and that column must be auto increment. So again we have to write all the table. So now we have to write again an older table. The table name is student has subject. We have to add the new column. So add column. The column name is id, and it is integer and not null because it's a primary key. And then this is a primary key, and then not null primary key. Auto increment. So this is it for this question set. Thank you for watching.